Hi and welcome. This is going to be a multiple part tutorial going over different ways that you can manipulate and change the side of players, groups, units, AI, and how you can also get information back, such as checking what side a player's on, checking what side units are on. In this part 1 of the tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to gather information about what side players are on and AI, etc. So we'll dig straight in. Okay, so for the first part of the tutorial mini-series, we're going to be going over how to utilize the side function, and what this essentially does is gives us the information telling us what side individual units are on. So for example, if I bring up my little script I've made here just to display it, I've done side and then underscore this. Now with the mods that I'm using, which are from the Stone Marines Army unit, what this will mean is if I put this into my Zeus here, then it would get the side of whatever unit this is opening. So for example, at the moment it's in my character, so it would be the side of me, right? But you could also do this in a script. So for example, you could do side player, and whatever player has executed this script, it would give you the side of that player. You could also create an AI, which I'll do in another video if it's not already up. So you could save it as maybe unit 1. So you could then get the side of Unit 1, and this would return West, East, Independent, Civilian, etc. So I've done a little script here that will see if the side of the player is West. Okay, so literally it's just using that side function and then the player. If he is on West, then it will hint that the player is on the West side, right? So it's really straightforward. And then else, so if the player's not on the west side, which is blue 4, so this would be if he's on op 4, if he's a civilian, if he's independent, etc., then it will hint that the player is on %1 side. This don't worry about for now, that's just a variable hint thing. I've just done that for this script. I can do another video on that if people need that. And then it will just hint what side that player is on, right? So if I just show you what this actually does in Zeus for now, so I'm just going to copy and paste this into here, click OK. You see it says player is on the west side, right? And you can see there that I've got a blue symbol, which means I'm on blue 4, which is west. But if I was to change side of this unit, I'm just going to do it through Zeus now because it's quicker. You'll see that I'm now op 4. So if I run that exact same script again, you see it now says player is on the east side. And then if we maybe changed him to civilian, and we did it again, you see it says player is on the civ side, right? So this can come in very handy when you're trying to script certain side things. Maybe you're trying to do an undercover mission without using Zeus. Things like this would be really handy. Okay, so let's see how we can basically utilize this in a little bit more of a complex example, right? So we're now going to get Arma to hint to us, which is that little black box that shows up in the top right. We're going to get it to tell us what side each individual unit of a group is on. For this example, let's say that we wanted to do a for each loop of the group, so that will return us all the individual units, hint their name, and then we want to hint what side they're on, right? So we're first just going to set up our for each loop. So we're going to do for each units group underscore this, right? And then all this will do, so it's going to loop through the units of, and then the group underscore this. So underscore this, again, in the Zeus mods that I've got, what that is the object or the player or the unit that you're currently executing that code on. So for example, underscore this in me would return SMBJS, whereas underscore this in one of these op4 units would return their unit themselves, right? So we are getting the group of this. So if we did that on this guy over here, it's not going to do anything at the moment because there's no code in it, but this would iterate through each of the units within this group, okay? So what we can do with this information, and in Arma for each loops, the variable of the for each is stored in underscore x variable. So for example, we could do hint format, which is just the same as this thing up here. Again, if you want a tutorial on that, let me know and I'll do it. And we are going to do %1 is on side %2. Now don't worry too much about what that actually is doing at the moment if you don't know how it works, because it's not related to the side, it's just how I want to display it to you guys. So %1 we're going to set to name underscore x. Now what this will do is it will get the identity or the name of the unit that it's currently iterating through, and that will store it in the %1. So if, for example, it was doing me, it would say SMBJS is on the side, and that's where we've got to at the moment. And then for the next part, we're going to do side underscore x. Okay, so what this is now going to do, if it was my player, for example, when I was on the west side, it would say SMBJS, because that's name underscore x. is on the side west, because that's the side that my player is on, okay? So now if I copy and paste this script, and again, this is all on my GitHub if you just want to copy and paste this. I'm going to put it in this unit here, I'm going to paste it, click OK, and you'll see up here that so-and-so, I'm not going to bother pronouncing that name, is on the side east. Now you'll see that none of the other names have been hinted, even though there's a group of 4, and that's simply because it's hinted all 4 characters straight away. So there's a few ways you can get around this issue, but for me, in my situation, I'm going to create a new string. You can call this whatever, really. We can call it _str. And I'm going to set this equal to nothing, right? And this is just creating an empty string ready to be used. Now, in here, I'm going to get rid of this for now because we're not going to use it anymore. All I'm going to do is I'm basically going to edit what this string has as its information. So I'm going to do string equals to itself, so that we're always adding onto it for each iteration, which means each time the loop goes around. So the string is equal to itself plus the we can add in a return there actually, so there's a bit more space, and then we can add in the name of the unit, so name _x like we did before. We're then gonna, let's just add this so it's a bit clearer when we're viewing it. And then we are going to get the sides of the player or the unit like we did earlier. Now the problem is the side isn't returned as a string. So in Arma we can do str and then put whatever we want to be converted into a string in brackets. So this might look a little bit confusing, but it's not too bad if you understand what it's doing. So we're creating an empty string, and then for each unit in the group we are doing the string equal to itself. So we're adding onto it, we're creating a new line. We're putting the name of that unit, and then we're just putting a colon, and then we're putting the side of that unit. And then we're going to hint this, so we're going to do a hint format, and then we'll just do %1, and we'll put _str. Oh, _str. There we go. So that's just going to hint our final string. So now if we put that into our unit here, hopefully, there we go. So we see each name of individual unit in the group, and then what side they're on. Sorry about the acre thing there. I'm not on TeamSpeak at the moment. So if these guys were west, so for example, if I just changed this to west, and then we've done the exact same code, you can see that it now says their name, and it says that they're all individually west. There's lots of different ways that you can approach this, and you can utilize this to the best of your ability. But yeah, hopefully that's helped you out. In the next tutorial, we're going to be going over how to actually set the side through scripts. So how you can manipulate players and unit sides through scripting itself. Hope you found that helpful, and let me know if you have any questions. See you in the next one.